Um, this one is tough. I can't promise I won't cry. So if you're a sympathy crier, this is your warning. Um, I promised I would always be transparent on this blog because I think being honest about the journey and the process is going to do more than faking my way through it. So, um, let me just update you a little bit on what's going on. I am currently struggling the most with guilt and shame. In the beginning, in the first steps of the process, it has you write out things that you're in denial about. Write out hurts, hangups, and habits that you're holding on to that you struggle with letting go, or that you refuse to let go of. And what I thought was going to be on that list was on there, and then some things came to my attention that I didn't think needed to be on the list, that didn't need to be on the list. Well, spiritual warfare is a very real thing. And let me tell you, kind of in the middle of it, I feel like ever since I started the 12 steps, not started CR, because when I started CR, I was encouraged, it was uplifting, everybody was very supportive and encouraging. But when I started the 12 steps, when I decided to get serious and do the deep work and dig up the roots of all these issues and stuff, it brought a lot of dark things back to the light. I mean, that's part of the recovery process. I kind of expected that, but did not expect it to happen this soon, and I certainly didn't expect it to hurt this bad. One of the things that the devil is known for doing is accusing. So literally one of his names is the accuser. And he's a lot better at his job than I gave him credit for, because it feels like ever since I started the 12-step study, instead of it just being what I thought it was going to be, where it was going to be like, okay, I have these one or two things I need to work on, it was, nah, chick, you've got like this and 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 this, and you failed at this, 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 all the ugly past things I've done. And you continue to fail at this, continue to fail at this, continue to fail, continue to struggle with this, continue to struggle with it. And it's gotten to the point where yesterday I was literally in tears, which is why I didn't post yesterday. I couldn't pull myself together long enough to get a sentence out without crying. But at the end of yesterday, at the end of, realizing, oh, I still handle this wrong. Oh, I also handle this wrong. Oh, I continue to handle this wrong. By the end of the day, I was like, my God, do I do anything right? One thing. Just give me one thing that I do right. I was frustrated. I was so frustrated. And I get, up here, I get it. Up here, logically, it makes sense that this is for my benefit, that this process is going to be hard work, but at the end of it, there's going to be freedom and liberation and victory and praising God and just all the awesome things. But right now, this sucks. I ain't even going to pretend like it doesn't. And we're on the hope principle, and talking about hope and reading about hope and finding Bible verses about hope. But if I'm being honest and being transparent, I wonder why it is that when we think of God's voice And when we think of discernment and waiting to hear from Him, we hear things about listening for that still small voice, and having to be quiet in order to hear Him. And yet, when we talk about the enemy, he roars and he yells and he gets in your face and he points fingers. And why is it that the enemy is allowed to seem, not that this is truth, but why is he allowed to seem louder? Why do we let him get in our face and yell? And why is it so much easier to hear the yelling and accusation and lies of the enemy, and it seems so much harder to hear that still small voice? I don't have an answer for that yet. I think this particular video is more of things that are on my brain and on my heart that I don't have answers for, than it is, hey, this is what I've learned. Because honestly, this week, I feel like I still have things I need to learn. Because I don't have any answers this week. I don't have any nuggets of wisdom. And I talked to my mom about it yesterday, and she was talking about how, the enemy is the accuser, but, we don't have to bear the weight of our guilt and shame because it was already nailed to the cross and God already took that. So why would I take that out of His hands? And that's a really good question. Why? If I know with everything in me that I have no reason to hold on to guilt and shame, if I know up here that God took all that and that He already dealt with it, it's done. And if I know that He's going to use my hurts for His glory and to reach other people, if I know all that up here, why is it so hard to get it here? Why does this seem more stubborn? And why is this harder to manage? Just saying. So, logically, I know that this is for my benefit. Logically, I know that this is all going to come for the glory of God's kingdom. Logically, I know that He's already dealt with all of this, that there's no reason for guilt or shame. I know all these things up here, but I am struggling to get that through here. So, prayers this week be greatly appreciated. If you guys have any prayer requests, please leave them down in the comments below. I love taking time out of my day to pray for other people. It brings me a lot of joy knowing that I have the ability to stand in the gap for people and pray. So if there's anything I can be praying for you guys for, let me know. And if I come up with answers for any of this, which probably isn't going to happen in the next 24, 48 hours, but if I come up with answers for any of this, or if God gives me some kind of revelation or answer, I will make sure I share it. But sometimes the struggle is real.